First of all, I want to thank everybody for being here today. Your presence here tells me that you want to make changes, very necessary and needed changes. My name is Lulu, and I was the child victim. Those kids that you see in the video, those are my people. Just to put things into perspective a little bit, I'm fresh to the age of 29. And I was alienated from a parent for 20 years. So essentially, that means I've been an adult legally for a little over 10 years, and I had to flee from my alienator. So I've had roughly 5 years to start healing, and that's it. And in those 5 years, I've been coming to this building, and I've been talking to legislators, and I have been talking to anybody who will listen. I have talked to family law attorneys. I have talked to district attorneys. I have talked to literally anybody that will listen. I've gone to events like this, and I've done Zoom calls all throughout COVID, because this is something important. And I was 6 years old when this started. This was back in 1998 when my parents divorced and separated. And the exact same thing is still going on. The exact same system and structure and laws are governing custody of children as were used in 1998. And it's not working. It's not working at all. So when I think back, because a lot of people will ask me, what would have made a difference in your life? I think about what we're doing for our children today. We educate them on physical abuse and sexual abuse and bullying in schools. Even to a certain degree, we'll educate them on financial abuse as they start to learn about finances. Where's the education in mental and emotional abuse? It needs to come from within our communities, from within our homes, and from within our schools. There needs to be training and education for the professionals that need to provide these resources, not only to the children, but to the parents. As I've come to this building and I've talked to legislators and I've talked to their legislative aides, I have this assumption that everybody I've come in contact with has the ability to spot the red flags. If they watched a parent and a child interact, they would, it's something wrong, something they hear, something they see, something they observe. They're gonna see red flags. So the ability to identify it is there, but who do you report it to? Who's going to do anything about it? That's another problem that we have. Mental and emotional abuse is attached to every other form of abuse. Physical, sexual, financial, bullying, it's there. So if you report these other forms of abuse and these other types of crimes committed against children, someone's going to do something about it. But if it's just mental and emotional, let's wait until we stack extra abuse on top of that before anybody does anything. Before the children are able to make an outcry that actually has some weight to it. There's something wrong with that. As an adult, I am delightfully distracted by raising children. I started my own business. I have a life that I am trying desperately to establish as something good and thriving. And it's hard because I'm still in a survival mode. I'll be 30 next year, you guys, and I'm still trying to figure out how to function outside of trauma. Directly related to parental alienation. When I reunified with my father, a lot of things got out of the way with that initial reunification. It was great. It was good. We had conversations about the past, and I continuously remember that I asked, is this memory real? Is this how this thing went down? And I still go through that. I was wholeheartedly a daddy's girl, but I vaguely remember that detail. There's pictures that show it. there are family members that will tell me, oh, you absolutely loved your daddy. I don't really remember it. You know, something relatable to, I'm sure a lot of you guys, you'll come in contact with friends, family. They have different moral views or ethical views or even political views. You know, that's adult stuff that kids don't care about. But that's the type of stuff that gets in the way of me having a relationship with my father now. Because those are the things that matter to me now as an adult. Those are the things that I concern myself with. So while that initial reunification was absolutely wonderful, what do we talk about now? What do we do? We live in 2 different states. The first time he called me on the phone, I had to stay on a Facebook Messenger group texting my friends, just keep me on the phone, keep the phone in my hand, so when he calls, I actually answer it. Because I'm scared. I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what kind of relationship I want to have with him. You know, building the relationship after that initial reunification is the hardest part. And I reunified with him 4 years ago. And I think I've talked to him probably less than 20 times since then. I come in and I share these things here because I feel like legislators are obligated to help me change things. You know, that's what they're supposed to be here for. I share my story not because I'm trying to gain sympathy, I'm trying to gain compassion. I want people that have the ability to make change and have the obligation to make those changes. I want them to be triggered. I want them to be upset, but I want them to learn. And I want them to know that this is not going away without their help. So I want legislators to support legislation that helps make these changes. I want them to find ways to support and encourage funding for parental alienation, and I want them to support and encourage continuing education for family law attorneys, for judges, for CPS. Everybody that's in on this, or needs to be in on this, they need the training, and they need the education, and it needs to be provided there for the parents and the kids that are going through this. Because as kids, we don't know how to tell you what's going on. Someone hits us, yeah, we can say, so-and-so hit me. How does a child explain parental alienation? They don't even know what they're going through. So that's why I'm here today, and I appreciate everybody else that's here today.